X-Men 97 opened to rave reviews, with fans going on a nostalgic trip. Thanks to its 2D animation style, smart writing, and captivating action sequences, the sequel to X-Men, the animated series, has honored the legacy of the original series fittingly. The legacy of the original can be found all over the present-day Marvel Cinematic Universe, pursuing the same superhero storytelling that the audience has come to enjoy over decades. It's precisely why the team behind the X-Men 97 wanted to remind fans how the original characters still hold utmost importance. As creators, we are not inside a bubble. We are part of the culture that is also the audience. So for something like this that was so seminal for many of us growing up, our success came from following our passion, says Brad Winderbaum, the head of streaming, television, and animation at Marvel Studios. X-Men, the animated series, debuted on US TV sets in October 1992 as part of the Fox Kids Saturday morning lineup of cartoons. The series brought to life the mutant characters of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's comics, with a team consisting of Cyclops. It was a show about a superhero team fighting to protect a world that largely hated and feared mutants, oftentimes adapting and remixing classic comic book storylines like the Dark Phoenix Saga and Days of Future Past. For Winderbaum, it was his gateway to comic books. That is the core of what makes the X-Men so special and so fun. Grown adults that still act like teenagers sometimes, says DeMeo, creator of X-Men 97, who describes the storyline of the show, similar to that of a soap opera. Adding to the soap opera narrative, a character like Storm, who often makes dramatic declarations every time she uses her power to manipulate the weather, will always announce her moves in advance. For example, summoning the power of the Arctic winds, rise desert sands. Meanwhile, someone like Jean Grey, DeMeo's favorite character, will always be one of the more theatrical ones. He refers to what has now become a meme, the telekinetic and telepathic mutant constantly fainting after seemingly little exertion. Although the animated series was well received by fans, pitching for the series wasn't easy. Hollywood studios often rejected the idea of X-Men, the animated series, citing a lack of viewership base. However, the tunes changed quickly, with the series airing for up to 5 seasons. This superhero narrative becoming a hit also paved the way for modern-day favorites like Captain America, Avengers, and other giants of the Marvel Universe. X-Men 97 now picks up directly where X-Men, the animated series, left off, with the continuation of the storylines and characters that were developed through the children's animated series. The world, both inside and outside the show, has changed, but the new series hopes to spread a similar message of acceptance, much like their 90s counterpart. Marvel recently parted ways with showrunner Beau DeMayo a week before the premiere of the new series, who came to the project with his background as a gay black man growing up in an adopted family. It's easy to imagine that he saw himself in the outsider characters created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. The mutants of the X-Men are often seen as a metaphor for the struggle of LGBTQ people. Less obvious mutants have to come out to their parents when they're young and face the fear of being disowned as a result. Political zealots, much like modern-day conditions, attempt to pass bills to dehumanize them, whereas a legacy virus is also introduced in the comics that's seen as an allegory for the AIDS crisis. These vital comparisons aid in the narrative of the show. One way X-Men 97 attempts to connect with the legacy is also through Morph, which is now voiced by J.P. Carliak. DeMeo previously stated that they approached the character, who can shapeshift into any person, male or female, as non-binary. The character's primary appearance now takes on a more androgynous, otherworldly look that's similar to the comic book character that inspired him, Changeling. While there have been some unavoidable voice changes due to departing members of the cast, the new X-Men sound almost identical to the sound in older episodes. The original voices go a long way in bringing back the nostalgia that emanates from the original series. The original series, apart from creating a conversation about coexistence and siding with the marginalized, also taught kids about discrimination at large, sometimes in more overt ways. Actress Celie Smith recalls a now widely recognized scene in which Storm and Wolverine walk into a bar. They're not discriminated against for being mutants, but for being a mixed-raced couple. Race-based discrimination? How quaint, Storm says in response. With the X-Men 97 gracing the screens, fans haven't been able to contain their excitement about different elements of the show. Good thing that they kept the same theme song, because that's one of the best part of X-Men animated series. All our 90s heroes coming back soon. Cyclops, finally looking and feeling like the real Cyclops that we know and love. Every 40-year-old in the world is having Saturday morning flashbacks right now. X-Men 97, at its true core, stands as a testament to the evergreen appeal of these iconic characters, while incorporating modern storytelling sensibilities, ensuring that the X-Men's legacy will continue to captivate the audience for years to come. Who is your favorite character from X-Men 97? Do you think the series does justice to the animated one as a continuation of the same? Let us know in the comments down below.